Final topic of the day. We got a mini update on Spider-Man 4 from Tom Holland. And like I said, it's only a mini update. It's not a ton of information, but he has read the script with Zendaya and he had positive things to say about it. Not terribly surprising that an actor who wants his movie to be a hit thinks that the script for the movie that he has to star in is good, but there's a side to it that, he's at least using strong language. So you kind of dive into this one. Kind of starts off in what he's talking about, the process of making these movies. But he says, one of the things is that with Marvel, your film is a small cog in a large machine. That machine has got to keep running. You have to make sure you can fit into that timeline at the right time to benefit the bigger picture. That's one of the challenges we're facing. The time in which we need to get that done is a tall order, but definitely achievable with the people we have working on it now. So he's talking like, hey, part of the problem when you're trying to make a Spider-Man movie, we're doing a Sony Spider-Man movie, but it fits into the Marvel Universe. Marvel Universe is very big with a lot of moving parts. And so you want to make a great movie that fits in with their system. That's tough. And it's true. And I think that is a lot of why Phase 4 and 5, I think, has felt pretty rocky for a lot of us and why the Parliament has kind of taken over and they're very producer driven, because it's a lot easier if the power and storytelling is up here and you're doing last minute reshoots to try and fit the pieces together. You're trying to do it with too many parts that are all moving at the same time. And I think we felt that. They maxed out on the size that it worked for. Phase 3, 3 movies per year, they pulled it off pretty well. Unlike anyone's ever done it before. But as soon as you add in the TV shows and you're doing 3 movies, 3 TV shows a year, there's so many moving parts, so many movies being written, shot, edited, promoted, being released all at the same time that that the system didn't work quite right. So he just kind of acknowledges some of that. And then he kind of goes into the specific script that he was able to read and says, we have a creative and we have a pitch and a draft. So I don't know what creative and a pitch mean exactly to him, but I assume that's referring to there's an idea. There's a thing that was pitched that's exciting. That's like, here's our angle on what the new Spider-Man is. And we have a draft of that angle, which is excellent. It needs work, but the writers are doing a great job. So that's, tough to interpret exactly what that means. Well, this thing's excellent. It's amazing. They're doing a great job, but it needs work. At face value, that feels a little bit like, wait a minute, what's kind of going on there? You have to keep in mind, there's you've got this thing you're really excited about with a set of characters, a pitch, wherever it's going with Street, Multiverse, Venom, wherever they're going with it, they've got the pitch and you read the script and there's all these great set pieces and character moments, but then you go, it has to fit into the Marvel machine. And when you're doing a first draft, you're trying to get those ideas out. So sometimes there's some rough edges. You have to cut some corners to make some pieces fit. Maybe there's a thing that doesn't have quite the right logic to it, but it's like we're all really excited about the pitch, these set pieces. There's a lot of jokes in here. There's a lot of emotional moments. I like in big picture, but yeah, we got to take off the rough edges. It's a great first draft. We're heading in the right direction. Today's video is brought to you by Factor. This past week, it finally got cool enough here in Texas to pull a sweater out of the closet, and sweater weather pairs nicely with fall foods. But if you're like me, your schedule's too busy to prepare all of those meals that you would love. That's where Factor comes in to help. Their chefs do the shopping and the chopping to bring you fresh, never frozen, fully cooked meals right to your doorstep. All you have to do is heat and eat. When it comes to meals, everyone wants options. That's why Factor offers 35 wholesome meals every week, including Gourmet Plus, keto, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, so you'll always find something you love that suits your lifestyle. I always go with keto or protein plus. Factor has over 60 plus add-ons to keep you fueled and focused 24/7 with a plethora of flavors. You'll never get bored. I personally like to start my days with their protein shakes. Head to factormeals.com/SeanChandler50 and use code SeanChandler50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month. That's code SeanChandler50 at factormeals.com/SeanChandler50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's what it reads like to me. I read it 3 weeks ago, and it really lit a fire in me. Zendaya and I sat down and read it together, and we at times were bouncing around in the living room like this is a real movie worthy of fans. And that's a thing that I think he's mentioned before, that he's like, he realizes he got to be a part of something special where, you know, Raimi trilogy ended on kind of a note that people didn't think was the best. And then Andrew only got 2 movies and it ended and people didn't think it was the best. And he got to do 3 movies. And, you know, I have my criticisms of the second one. People have their criticisms of the third one. There's overall criticisms, but generally speaking, very well received and ended on such a high note. He knows that. So he's going, okay, like, how do we make a movie that lives up to fan expectations? We don't want to disappoint the fans. How do we keep delivering? And I think that's what they've kind of been saying in previous statements that they've put out there, that they're just waiting to get the right story, the right pitch that fits into this universe and everything like that. And I believe this will be the longest period of time between Spider-Man movies that we've ever had, if I'm not mistaken. Because we don't even have a release date yet. And you think Spider-Man 1 to 2 years, and was it 3 years to get to the 2007 film, and maybe was there 5 years to get to Andrew Garfield's first movie, so maybe we'll be on par with that. But it's one of the longer times we've gone without a movie, and they did that kind of on top. Big, like, you know, the movie that saved the theaters out from COVID and everything like that. And they don't want to just crank one out just to crank a movie out. I like that. I like that they're taking their time and that he's going to be at a different phase of life and whatever they're going to like. I like that. They've replaced John Watts with Daniel Destin Cretton, or it wasn't replaced. John left. Like he did what he wanted to do there, and now he's doing other things. So it doesn't mean replaced. But brought in Daniel Destin Cretton, not the person I would have picked, but I like him more as a director than I like John Watts. And I think he does better. I've seen him do better emotional stuff. So I like that. So there's a lot here that I'm excited about. And the actors being like, we love the script. It's always a good sign. But then again, what else are they going to say? Like, we read the script. I mean, we thought it was crap, but we're going to start shooting in 2 months. So hopefully they'll fix it in a month. Like, just anything like that. I just don't know. But anyway, that's kind of my quick thoughts on all of that.